Hi everyone, happy Friday. Thanks for joining me for number 26, Where I'm From with Tonya. She should be here any minute. I hope everyone's having a good Friday. Not like Good Friday. That was last week, but a good Friday. I am. It's lovely here. It's also Earth Day today, so I was lucky enough to take a long walk. There were wildflowers. I'm happy that I was able to do that. Looking forward to the weekend. I hope you have wonderful weekend plans. I'm waiting for Tonya to join me. She should be here momentarily. Along with this, I also have a comic book. Ah, here she is. And it's going well. We're doing a Kickstarter. It's called Reburn, and it ends in hours, and I'm excited about it. So, I am inviting Tonya. Tonya, are you on your phone? Because you can't join me if you're not on your phone. So I don't know if that's what's up. I feel like you're a pro at this. I've invited you, Tonya, a bunch of times. And every time I click on it, it says invite. And then nothing happens. Are you on your phone, Tonya? I don't know why it won't let you join. Oh, she's unable to join, it says. Tonya, are you on your phone? Because if you're not on your phone, you can't join me. This is something I have learned through trial and error. I could also try starting over and see if that makes a difference. Hello all. The technical wonders of Instagram lives are sometimes wonderful and sometimes frustrating. So I am getting to riff, which is my least favorite part of this. I like to be with someone else talking about their creativity and their process. I am, so I have this comic book, Reburn. Most of you might have heard of it. The Kickstarter is almost over, and this is our third Kickstarter in like 16 months, which is an undertaking. Okay, Tonya, I'm gonna everyone. I don't know if I should stop. We're gonna give Tonya. You do that, and then if that doesn't work, I'm gonna stop the live and start over again. So, let me know. We're having some technical difficulties. So if you have any questions or anything that you would like to share with me, help me while I am here by myself working out technical difficulties. What book are you reading? I just finished Bodywork by Melissa Febos. If you are a memoirist or an essay writer or a person who enjoys reading about those things, I highly recommend it. It is very powerful and so encouraging. Angelique, I highly recommend it. I see you there. Read it. Bodywork by Melissa Febos. It is not a long book, and it's 4 essays, and she just talks about how writing personal narrative is an act of personal reclamation, and also like The Happiness Curve. Oh, I like that. And The Perfume Thief. I read The Perfume Thief. I have not read The Happiness Curve. I believe life could get better after 50. I certainly think life improves with age. Yesterday, I was driving some kids, and they were telling me that I need to not frown or smile too much because it will make my face wrinkle. And I was like, your face is going to wrinkle, like, no matter what happens. So please don't go around your life trying to not make facial expressions. That will be a real bummer for you if you're just like not smiling, not frowning. Like it's coming for you. So just enjoy yourself along the way. But it was just funny because the child who was saying this to me was, and that's too early. I mean, none of us should really be worried about it. It is a gift growing older because the alternative is we're not here. So it's a gift. And this looks promising, Tonya. I said you could join me. I said yes. Yay! Ooh, I had to talk for a while.
That's okay. Did you tell them about your fundraiser?
I did a little bit, but of course I like immediately get uncomfortable and start talking about what book I'm reading. Like let's instead talk about what book I'm reading. I'm comfortable talking about that. So and aging, because one of the women who's here, Angelique, I asked people what they're reading, and she's reading The Happiness Curve about how life gets happier after you're 50, which I totally believe. And I was sharing that, aging is a gift. We gotta embrace it, right?
It is. You be grateful you made it that far, right?
That's how I feel. The alternative is not here. So I'm grateful to be here. And I'm grateful you're here with me. It's good to see you.
You too.
Thank you for always
was here. It was just not working.
It just wasn't. I know. Sometimes Instagram Live is a little,
And even after I rebooted, it said, no, you can't do it. So I tried to request from you instead of accepting your request.
And
that's what did it.
Well, perseverance. so many things in life are about perseverance.
Yes.
It's just important to persevere at the right things. This is something I've learned with age. Not to persevere at everything, but just the right things.
Right.
And people. My wisdom for the day. So, anything you would like to say before you read your poem, other than you made it?
I made it, and I'm glad my mommy's here.
Oh, yay! My mommy's here too. We have mommies here. My mommy's here too, saying she loves every wrinkle on her face. Where we're from, right? Yeah. Okay, we'll go for it.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try and cover you guys with my screen. Where I'm from. I am from books and cats and baseball bats, from mother's milk and banner batteries. I am from the swimming pool in the backyard, deep, shimmering, eyes stinging like chlorinated dreams. I am from oleander bushes, their poison lace leaves bright and fragrant as rose petals. I am from Christmas cookies and big teeth, from butterflies and carnations. I am from hand washers and hand-me-ups, from sit up and settle down. I am from spiritual freedom, endless open paths that led to one God. I am from Majaziran and the Pennsylvania Duchess of Brooks County, north of brotherly love, dark chocolate almonds and ice cream after everything. From the 3 engagement rings Nana accepted at one time, the bus my mother fled between fathers. In my closet was a warm nest of devoted kittens, a blanket of unconditional love, to purr my troubled mind to sleep. I am from these creatures, graced with magnificent progenal gifts, morphing from monster to muse. Thank you.
Thank you. So powerful. Your reading and also the words.
This was powerful. It was an emotional, I thought, okay, there's a prompt. You just fill in the blanks. Oh no, you dig. You dig and you dig and you relive some things. And it just made me have such a great respect for people who write memoir. Because this is a poem. This is, a minute and a half poem. And I was like, oh, can I share these things about myself? you imagine writing an entire book like that?
Like, I am. It
Yeah,
is very
you
like,
are.
it is like, wow, because this is sort of a micro memoir. That's a
It
conversation
is.
I've been having with people, and it is interesting because I think you could just graze on the surface, but like it doesn't. I think for most people, it ends up not feeling authentic.
Yeah. I mean, and I tried that, not for that purpose. I
Mhm.
didn't think I was just grazing
Right.
along the surface. But, you read it and you're like, that's not quite accurate, or that's not, we're not quite there. And then when you get there, you're like, oh, well, why is there emotion involved?
Mm-hmm.
Because there, that's why.
It feels like there's some kind of internal barometer of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Um,
even though the people reading probably they don't understand what these phrases mean sometimes,
for sure.
but and your family knows.
Right. Right. And I think that's a big part of it, right? That's a big discussion in memoir. What do we
Yeah.
share and what do we keep to ourselves? And I
It
love
just feels so vulnerable.
it does feel vulnerable. It does. But does it also feel empowering at the same time? Or is it
It
just
did.
vulnerable?
When I was done, it was just, wow, I have a history that I don't often think about, and it's what brought me to where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
And it also connects you to family that's lost. It's
Mm-hmm.
that
For
part
me.
of it is just the butterflies are really getting to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was that for me too, for sure. Family that's lost just because we're estranged, and also family that, is physically
Yeah,
not
both
here.
of those things.
Yeah. And I think I sometimes sort of like don't think about it as much. And then, but it is still where I'm from, and um, it's my foundation at the very least, it's not the whole building,
Right.
but
No matter
it's,
how difficult it was, it is still what crafted you. It's what built you. And you can't deny your past, no matter how challenging or troubling or scary or sad it is.
I love that from monster to muse. That's such a, like, that phrase is really powerful. And I think that's the journey, hopefully, that many of us are on, where we're taking these things that feel monstrous and making them into something beautiful and magical. And, like we're the butterflies, right? Yes. Is that your mom who just put the butterfly in the chat? Someone did.
My Nana is
Okay.
a butterfly. And she did. She put
Yeah.
it there
I was
because
like, that's the perfect
of Nana.
analogy, of that sort of that transformation that we go through if we're
And the spelling of Duchess is intentionally wrong.
okay.
So
And what is that word that I can no way pronounce?
Magizerin,
Yeah.
the Hungarian mermaid,
Oh, cool.
which is my mother.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I was like, I don't know what that is. I need to ask. I love these, like, things that are so unique to us, but they speak to this larger story of
Right.
yeah.
Because when I just put their names, it was,
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
didn't say anything. This says something.
Mm-hmm. For me, it did, because we always said their names together. So for me, it
Hmm.
evoked that sort of togetherness of that couple that I mentioned. It was like, oh, they
Yeah.
were a unit, and how rare that was in my family. There were so few units. Everyone was divorced. So they
So
were
the
like,
coupling itself was part of the story.
yeah, it's like, oh yeah, there was a couple. So yeah, it's fascinating. Any other reflections on your experience?
No, I just thank you for putting me through this. I remember I sent it to you. I was like, I'm so nervous about this because I just feel so exposed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was so interesting because you just sent it with nothing in the body of the email. It's just the poem, yeah, which
Because
is
I had to just do it. It
yeah.
was like, just do not second guess this, just send it. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize, like, I didn't consciously send it without saying anything. And then I realized I sent it already. I sent it. I need to say something to her. I can't just be like, here,
You were not the
here's your
first
poem.
person to do that, Tonya. So it was not shocking at all. I've had people, and it's interesting too, because I like being in the position, which is not something I thought of at all when I started doing this. of the person who goes, this is wonderful. It's the best. It's one of the best parts about this is people send me something vulnerable and they might ask me the word count or they might ask me what they need to do or what. And I just say, whatever you want to do, however many words you want to
Well, if
write.
anyone is coming, for your guests that are coming after me, I found it very helpful to go through the other people. Like I wrote mine first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went through to make sure, did I do it right? And I saw that we all had it a little different. It
Yes.
was not exactly syllable by syllable or word count by word count. It was, you take this and you make it your own. And I didn't see any that were duplicates.
No.
Yet they all worked.
Yeah. And they all feel of us coming from the same place, of a family
Right.
of sorts, which is interesting since that is the topic of, I feel like then there is this family that we're creating. And
Yes.
I love it. And I love using these childhood photos. I didn't think of it initially at all. It was like, oh, well, it's us now. But when Michelle Yang, who was last week, sent me her childhood photo, I was just like, oh, this is so, because she said, when I was writing it, this was the person I was writing about. And it was just like,
yeah.
it feels so powerful to remember who we were, that we were all these little people, and that we were experiencing these things when we were those little people.
Right.
Not who we are now, but them, innocent.
Yeah.
As close to innocence as I
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, your picture doesn't look so innocent.
I know.
You can see there's a lot going on behind those eyes.
I don't really have a lot of those. Yeah, it's a lot of world weariness for someone so small.
She was a crafty little girl.
Yeah, I was. I have written that I felt more grown up probably at the age of 8 than I do, like more world weary than I do now. I
understand.
I'm always like, not always, but I'm fascinated by people who go like, oh, childhood, what an innocent time. I'm like, really?
For some.
Yeah, I know, but not for me. And I used to just feel so unique in that. And then as I've grown older, I've realized, oh, tons of people feel the way I feel. There's so many of us.
So my mother's birth certificate shows her as older, but I'm older than she is. And there's someone younger in our family who's older than both of us.
And age is just a number.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Well, anything else you want to share, Tonya?
Just everyone go out and help with that fundraiser. Because
Thank you. I appreciate all your support. We're so close to the finish line. I was saying that this is our third one in 16 months. It's been quite a journey. Now we have 4 issues, over 100 pages of content, 9 covers. Exciting. We're really proud of it. And I appreciate your support and introducing me to people and talking me up. And I
wouldn't do it if you didn't deserve it. You earned all of that.
Well,
you're doing amazing work. I love the story. I love what you're doing with it. And I love your reasons behind it. And it looks great too.
I'm very proud of that. It's been talking to creative people like this or in collaboration, it's something that has really given my life positive focus in a time like during COVID and where the world feels kind of out of control. I was just in a meeting where someone was saying that optimism is a moral responsibility, not in the toxic positive way, be positive no matter what, but like I need to have hope to be in the world and be a positive person in the world. And being creative with other people gives me hope. And so talking to you and talking to other people about their poems and talking to people about art and creating something together, it's a drop in the bucket, but it's still my bucket.
Well, hope what my middle name means. So I'm
right
there with you.
What's your middle name? Oh. It doesn't go with Tonya and Todd. It doesn't come off the tongue the same way. It breaks it up. Is that the problem?
No, I just don't like to share
disclose. I had a friend like that in middle school. She would not, and of course in middle school, we all desperately needed to know it then. Right. And so we found it out it did not mean Hope. It was Wooster. It was someone's middle name, someone's maiden name,
Oh,
She was so mortified by it. And I was like, oh, it's okay, but to her, it was just like, oh
right.
my God, this is the worst name
Yeah,
ever.
I've heard much worse than that.
Right? Her middle name's TNT. Oh, TN. Okay. Someone's dropping
Those are my
clues in the
initials.
chat.
Yeah, okay. It's time to get off this before someone starts revealing too much about me. We've already done our vulnerable phase.
Yes, we're wrapping up the vulnerability. But thank you for joining me, and thank you for taking the time to share this piece of yourself. I really appreciate it, and it's a joy to see you, and I hope I get to see you again soon.
Yes, thank you. I love this series. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and have a
Bye,
lovely
everyone.
weekend.
Thank you for tuning in.
Okay, bye.